We are continuing our journey towards the Google AI services in Vertex AI. In here, we're going to focus on contact center as service. Basically, it's a genre of services a lot of the cloud providers coming up with to augment or replace BPO kind of workflows. Customer support in general. AI can do customer support better than human these days. So this is what it is aiming at. After that, we will see a couple of other services, theory mostly, and then we will see such services in the Google AI Studio or Vertex AI. Let's get into the topic without further introduction. Before we continue the discussion about agents, which is coming up here, we have a couple of demos pending on the contact center as service. As this is part of this document, also I have seen Google is highlighting this particular fact or particular topic in the keynotes as well. It is definitely a very business impactful service, pretty much all kind of customer service scenarios you can use. So at the end of the day, you can keep the voice assistant as a customer service engineer on the call. It returns result in real time. It can do research. For example, in the case of Gemini, we have seen it was doing all kind of activities using agent CLI. All that capability can be brought into this particular service right here. So this effectively act as a chatbot, just like Gemini, conversational agent assist, which can get things done, support your live human contact center agents, conversational insight, gain insight into all your communication with customers, whether the customer is happy or there is any problem in which the agents or the actual human agents are behaving, not the AI agent, assessing the quality or the call, customer satisfaction, and things like that. That is where the insight coming in. Now, going to the documentation of this particular service, we are not going to have any demo of this. There are similar demos in my other training in which we are creating a chatbot which can desk a couple of things like getting the weather information and things like that. So ultimately, it is all about customer service, lowering a cost, and enterprise grade omni-channel contact center solution that running inside cloud. This is the previous name for this particular service, and it is built with security, privacy, and of course AI innovation. And the generative AI is getting integrated into this particular service as we speak. So this is the ultimate goal, and of course making the life of the agent easier. In this case, the agent is the human agent. They are talking about the actual customer service engineer. So ultimately we make their life easier, and of course cost reduction. I believe this is one of the future of the customer service. Humans will be less and less needed for customer service. Only for verification and review of certain things, humans will be needed for customer service. We are already there to replace the customer service with AI assisted programs like customer service center as a service. So it is multimodal. Multimodal means that it can understand images, text, voice, different types of media, PDF files, all kind of different things. And you can integrate with all different channels, VoIP, PSTN, all different channels you can integrate it with. Routing, visual, IVR, a lot of different features are there. I don't think they are part of the certification, but good to know about this particular service. Next point to discuss is conversational agents, and it is powered by generative AI, and it is a rich and intuitive conversation. Text and voice-based virtual agents. In this case, the agent means the AI agent, not the human. Unfortunately, they have used the word agent in different meaning in different context. So be a little careful about that. Create agents with few clicks using the conversational agent UI. Pretty much you can create a chatbot which can talk within few clicks within the studio. So it is part of the customer engagement suite which Google provides. So the easiest way to get a feel of this particular service is to have a talk with the Gemini streaming. Pretty much that is what running behind the scenes of all this conversational AI. If you have the Gemini app installed, it has the streaming button or the live button, Gemini Live. Just click on it and start talking to it. You'll get a feel of what this service is going to be. It behaves like a human being who knows everything in the world. Talks like that, it answers like that, and it has all kind of tool access and things. Just like the agent we have seen. So agent assist. In this case, the agent means human agent. The agent assist provides in-moment coaching and next best action guidance to customer care representatives, which means that it kind of provides a solution to the problem like an advanced Google search. So these are some of the capabilities this has. Basically, it acts like a buddy to the customer service engineer, which is a human being. They could have used the word support engineer or something like that rather than the word agent. It would have been more clear. Unfortunately, the naming is what it is. So like I mentioned, in the case of conversational insights, it's all about understanding the nature of the conversation between the customer and the service representative. Basically, understanding the emotions and the nature of the satisfaction of the customer experience. A lot of this kind of interesting insights, why things gone wrong or things going right, and all this kind of necessary metrics it digs out from the conversation. So next point to discuss is agent space. Agent space is something we already touched upon in our demo or in the Blackboard session. You have an agent, AI agent. In this case, the agent is the AI agent. By default, when I say agent, I mean AI agent. Only in that customer service scenario, the agent had the meaning of support engineer. Otherwise, always agent is the AI agent we talk in this particular training. So in this case, it is AI agent. And basically, it is all about giving access to the tools we have discussed, making you faster, smarter, and more impactful at your job by giving access to the tools which is available inside the company. So the agent will be connected to different tools. For example, Model Context Protocol can be used for that purpose. And then the agent will be more powerful and more impactful, and it can get things done quickly and more effectively. We have seen the case of calculator. We have seen the case of web search. All were nothing but enabling the agent to achieve additional advanced task. So that is agent space. Integrate customized search and conversation agent that can access and understand data from various sources. So internal is a keyword here. So sources of data can be internal, which is not accessible outside the organization. Internal websites and dashboard and things like that. So Notebook LLM, we will see a demo in the end of the training. We'll use Notebook LLM to create effective conversation for this training itself. So that it'll be interesting for you to use Notebook LLM to understand this training itself. So we'll see that demo later. Now coming to agent, we have discussed the goal and basics of agent. Let's go through the points in this particular study guide and check if we are missing any points. So agent, a Gen AI agent is an application that tries to achieve a goal by observing the world and acting upon it using the tool it has at its disposal. Very difficult definition for it. More or less correct, but it does a bit more than that, at least in my perspective. So observing the world, this means that it can access the data from different sources and report it to the large language model. One thing to note here is the agent by itself is not intelligent. The intelligence is with the large language model. So what it does is observe the world and report the nature of the world to the LLM. And based on that, LLM give actions to be executed within the platform. Again, the result of the action has to be reported back to LLM. Ultimately, the large language model like Gemini 2.5 Pro or something like that is the master. Agent is just executing. It is just following the commands. The brain is, of course, the large language model. Very important point to understand. Agent doesn't have any kind of intellectual ability by itself. So a reasoning loop. So reasoning loop is all about finding out it is getting what it needs from the LLM. If it is not, it gives a feedback to the LLM. Hey, this is what I want. This is not working. I'm getting this error, giving the error back to LLM and going through that loop until it gets that particular task done. For example, when we created that file, if it got an access denied, it'll ask, okay, I need to elevate the access. Is it okay? Then the LLM will give the command to elevate the access and create that file and things like that. So at the end of the day, the model is still the most important part of the game. Although it creates an illusion that it is the agent which is doing all the stuff. Tools we have discussed, the Python runtime, the web search. Web search is a very important tool when it comes to LLM. The knowledge, for example, you can ask about something happened today to that Gemini CLI and it will do a Google search and will return back the result. So reasoning loop, it is a conversation between the agent and the LLM. Tools to get things done, to read from databases, to execute files, create files, delete files, and all that kind of things. Model, which is the most important part of the whole ecosystem, the brain of the AI system, which consists of various algorithms that learn patterns from data that can make predictions or generate new content. Basically, the weights and bias thing we discussed, that's a model. Types of agents. Normally, we are talking about generative AI models or agents driven by generative AI models. Deterministic is the type of agents which understands the natural language and execute a particular task. For example, what is the weather today? So it understands that particular ask, particular question, and it calls a weather API and gets you the weather result. The application is very limited. Most of the traditional ones are not transformer-based models. They are things like LTSM and RNN and things like that. They are not really transformer-based models. Because of that, their usage and the patterns are very limited. If you ask what was the weather yesterday, it may not know. So it is very specific to certain words and phrases. There are hybrid ones, which makes the combination of both large language model and the traditional way. The traditional ones are very deterministic, like the name says. It can't hallucinate and do some random things. But this is the one we are talking in general. So this is the part we have seen. The agents can have different function using tool usage. Customer service agents, we have talked about it. Employee productivity, coding, creating files, deleting files and things like that. Creative agents, writing and poems, stories, all kind of things. Coding, data, security. There are way more stuffs in the list, but these are normally model context protocol implemented tools, which is connected to the agent. So covering a couple of more points in this particular slide. Platform. So the Google platform, we have seen the Vertex AI platform for building and creating, testing, and use MLOps to deploy the models. We have seen that. So that is what they call platform, the Google Cloud ML platform. The name is Vertex AI. So it provides the infrastructure, tools, and pre-trained models like Gemini 2.5 Pro to build, deploy, and manage, monitor, and improve your ML generative AI solutions. So that is the platform all about. Then the model garden. We have seen the model garden, different types of models, pre-trained base models available for use and fine-tune if you want. Also, you can build custom model from scratch. It is a big task by itself, but there are tools like AutoML to create and train models with minimal technical knowledge. But still, you need the data to train the model. It is not trivial. This part is not trivial.
irrespective of the methodology you use. But you can always pick from existing Google and third-party open source models. Infrastructure, which is mainly about the GPUs and TPUs. GPU is graphics processing unit, which is the NVIDIA and AMD graphics cards like H200, A100, etc. TPU is tensor processing unit. More or less, it's all about matrix multiplication. All these are used for matrix multiplication at the end of the day. That is what these chips are all about. But that is the major part of this infrastructure at the end of the day. Also, essential softwares needed to train and store AI models. That is a trivial part, but the major part is this things right here. Because of this thing, NVIDIA share hit 4 trillion as we speak. It's the biggest company in the whole world. Bigger than Apple, bigger than Microsoft, bigger than any other company. Just because they have the capacity to multiply matrices to create AI models. AI on the edge sounds a little funny, but at the end of the day, edge devices are the devices you carry. Laptop, your mobile phones, fridge and TV sitting in our drawing rooms. Those are edge devices. You can put some of these small models like Gemini Nano on a phone. The advantage is that you can use it standalone. You don't need any network connectivity. You don't need any advanced GPUs or TPUs to run these models. For example, Gemini Nano. Very small models which can do certain things. Not everything something like Gemini 2.5 Pro can do, but it can do certain things in a very efficient way. Light runtime to help developers to deploy AI models on edge devices. So these runtime will help you to run small models on edge devices. This is very important. For example, in the case of defense, you can't have big models sitting on a defense aircraft or a missile defense system, the pattern recognition system in a defense aircraft. All that has to be on the edge on that device. So this is very important and it has a lot of use cases. So let's have a quick look at Gemini Nano. So Gemini Nano 1.0, our most efficient model for on-device task. So quick responses on device, which is the most important part, with or without data network. That's another important thing. Nano size, mega utility. We are focused on making Nano the most powerful on-device model available. Very small in size, but big in terms of usage. That's the point they are trying to make. So these are some of the capabilities of the model. Image understanding. Like I said, it can recognize images. Speech transcription. So it understands speech. And text summarization. Not at the level of something like Gemini 2.5 Pro. Don't expect that, but it can understand natural language, which is a big thing. Privacy by design, because it doesn't send your data anywhere, because the model itself is running within the device. The weights and bias running within the device. We have seen that in the case of LM Studio. We have downloaded the model and run in this particular laptop, but it was very slow because it is a proper large language model. The Gamma was a proper large language model. Because of that reason, it was very slow. But Nano is very small, so it'll be very fast. So it is already coming in certain devices. As you can see here, it is summarizing and helping to chat. The response is already coming down. As you can see, this keyboard is powered by Nano, the G-board. Pixel recorder, a lot of apps are available which has this particular Nano running inside it. So have a look at it. It may be closer to you than you think because it is coming in edge devices.
So we have seen contact center as service, basic introduction. We have not seen any demo or anything like that. That's all we need from the certification perspective. We have seen some other Google AI services as well. Let's continue our journey of Google AI services in the next lesson as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next.